Have you ever heard this idea that your thoughts have an actual physical vibration? That if you just change your mental frequency, you can literally attract anything you want, love, money, you name it, and physically shape the world around you. It's a massive concept. But is there any real science behind it? Okay, let's get into it. A lot of this modern belief gets a huge turbo boost from quotes just like this one, from the brilliant inventor Nikola Tesla. His fascination with these particular numbers has basically become the foundation for a ton of popular manifestation techniques you see everywhere today.
And that really brings us to the big question we're tackling here, right? Can the power of our thoughts, especially when guided by certain numbers, truly unlock the secrets of the universe and help us manifest our dreams?
So first up, let's break down one of the most popular techniques out there that really stems from Tesla's whole way of thinking. You've probably heard of it. It's called the 3-6-9 manifestation method. And the method itself, it's actually super straightforward. You figure out exactly what you want, you frame it as a positive statement like it's already happened, and then you just write it down. 3 times in the morning to set your intention for the day, 6 times in the afternoon to reinforce it, and then 9 times right before bed to really let it sink into your subconscious.
So the whole idea behind this is rooted in another one of Tesla's big concepts, which you see right here. The belief that everything, and he meant everything, including our thoughts, is all about energy, frequency, and vibration. So the 3-6-9 method is supposed to be a way to tune your own mental vibration to match the vibration of whatever it is you desire.
But hold on a second. Where did this whole thought vibration thing even start? Did Tesla invent it? Well, to get to the bottom of it, we've got to rewind the clock a little bit.
The concept really blew up in the early 1900s, thanks to this really influential book called The Kybalion. And if you look at its 7 big principles, boom, there it is, number 3, the principle of vibration. The book says, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. You could say this is really where the seeds for the modern law of attraction were planted.
All right, so we've got the modern method, and we know where the idea came from. But what about the proof? The evidence? How do people who believe in this try to show that our thoughts can actually have a real, measurable impact on the physical world?
And this is where it gets really, really interesting. So over on the left, you've got straight-up, undeniable science, resonance. You hit one tuning fork, and another one with the exact same frequency starts humming along all by itself. That's just physics, 100% proven. But then, you look at the right. These are from Masaru Emoto's famous and pretty controversial water crystal experiments. He claimed that just using positive words could create these gorgeous, perfect crystals, while negative words, they made these ugly, distorted messes. This whole concept of making vibrations visible is explored in a field called cymatics, and it's honestly amazing to watch. It shows how real, physical sound waves, things we can actually measure, can create these incredible, complex patterns in stuff like sand or water. But that leads to the million-dollar question, right? Does a thought work the same way? And that right there, that's the absolute heart of the matter. Is a thought the same as a sound wave? To figure that out, we kind of need a reality check from the world of physics, because a lot of this thought vibration talk borrows its lingo from a very specific and often misunderstood area of science. You hear the term quantum thrown around a lot with these ideas. But here's the problem. It's a huge misunderstanding of scale. Quantum physics, that's the super weird, unpredictable rulebook for teeny tiny subatomic particles. But our world, the world of people and cats and coffee mugs, that's run by classical physics, where things are where they are. Schrödinger's cat is either dead or alive, not both at once.
Okay, what about the idea that positive thoughts have a high frequency? In physics, is high frequency automatically good? Definitely not. Think about it. Low-frequency AM radio waves pass through you all the time, no big deal. But super high-frequency gamma rays, those are incredibly dangerous. The universe just doesn't label frequencies as good or bad.
And then you get the argument, well, you can't prove they don't have a vibration. That's actually a classic logical fallacy. It's called the purple people eater problem. If I tell you a purple people eater is real, you can't prove me wrong just by not finding one. Maybe it's hiding. In real science, the person making the wild claim is the one who has to provide the proof.
Okay, so if physics tells us a thought isn't some frequency we're broadcasting out into the cosmos, then what is it? To answer that, let's switch gears from physics to neuroscience.
And first, let's just nail down that scale issue again. A single human cell, just one, has something like 100 trillion atoms inside it. So our brains and the thoughts happening inside them are absolutely not playing by quantum rules. We are firmly in the big stuff world of classical mechanics, way more like a cat in the box than a mysterious little particle.
So here's the nuts and bolts of it. A thought is actually an electrochemical signal that happens inside your skull. It's a physical thing. It's this lightning-fast chain reaction. A neuron fires, it releases these little chemical messengers, they zip across a tiny gap to the next neuron, and that sets off an electrical impulse down the line. It's like a perfectly contained storm of biology, not some magic frequency being beamed out into the world.
All right, so we've got the physics, we've got the neuroscience, but what about just, life? We've all had that experience, right? You walk into a room or you meet someone and you just get a vibe from them. It feels totally real. So how do we square that feeling with what the science is telling us?
So does that mean vibes aren't real? When you get a good or bad feeling about someone, are you just making it all up?
No, not at all. Vibes are totally real. It's just that they're a product of our biology, not some mystical physics. That vibe you're feeling, that's your brain being an incredible supercomputer. It's unconsciously picking up on thousands of tiny little clues, their body language, the tone of their voice, tiny facial twitches. Then it bundles all that data up and presents it to you as a gut feeling. So you're perceiving information, not receiving an energy wave.
So when we pull it all together, here's the key takeaway. The whole language of vibration can be a really powerful metaphor. Thinking about raising your vibration is a great way to talk about improving your mood, focusing on the good stuff, and getting a handle on your emotions. The important thing is just to know the difference between a useful metaphor and literal hard science.
And that really leaves us with one last question to chew on. If using a metaphor, like thinking in terms of vibrations, helps you focus your mind, stay positive, and actually go out and crush your goals, does it really matter that it's not literal physics? And honestly, that's a question only you can answer.